It's Des. If you watch my actual day in the life vlogs, you've seen her a million times because I spend all of my free time with her. Thank you for letting me monetize our relationship and exploit it. I appreciate that. Des is a Taurus, just like moi, which is why we get along so well. She also has a water moon. I'm a Scorpio moon and you're a Pisces.
Pisces moon.
Is that not a good suggestion to choose?
I think it tastes like it's
She's
gonna
going
be good
through
for me.
Between the two of us, I feel like we've dated a good majority of
The Zodiac.
the Zodiac.
Maybe we should talk about our signs a little bit first.
Okay.
Taurus, first of all, practical, logical, unless it comes to indulgences. In that case, not logical or practical.
We indulge and we do it well.
Steady, we take things. The number one thing I think about a Taurus is that I think I could say this for all Tauruses, is that you will take your time in relationships. We're very much like,
I agree with that.
I don't want to call you my boyfriend until we're practically walking down the aisle sort of shit. But I mean, varying degrees for everybody. But
we're just going to focus on the sun signs because also I don't want y'all to get offended if we talk about your sign.
Yeah.
It's just very general,
it's
and
general.
it's based off our personal experiences. And I have friends of every sign, so if you're watching this,
I love you.
I love you. Don't get offended.
I just don't want to date you.
It's okay.
Sun sign thing, it's more of like the ego that you're looking at. Because like with the moon, you have the emotion, and with the rising, you have like your outward you to the world, to what first impression sort of thing. So we're focusing on like the ego. So if I'm talking about like a Cancer, I don't mean Cancer moon or rising because they show up completely different in their natal chart.
We happen to actually be compatible, but I talk about your sign and I act like we're not compatible. There's so many other placements that make us that can just change the direction of our compatibility, I would say, okay? Exactly. So don't get too offended by any of this. But we just know what we're talking about, so probably sorry. We're probably right.
Let's talk about the most compatible.
Okay.
Fuck it.
So technically, what are we supposed to be with?
Like water and earth.
All right, let's just start with the water signs. So Pisces, have you ever dated a Pisces?
I've never dated, the only water sign I've ever dated is a Scorpio, and I'm dating him right now.
Okay, the only water sign I've ever dated was also a Scorpio. I would love to try a Pisces or a Cancer. I do find, for me, though, I do find that the water signs seem to be a little too sensitive and emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that brief intermission we had. Her sister came in and we got in trouble.
Big trouble.
Because, I don't know if you know, we came through her room to get on this fire escape,
So anyway, again, Cancers.
Okay, yeah, I've never dated a Cancer, you?
I've had strange flings with Cancer. I've never dated a Cancer, but like the guy friends that I have, like the two that are straight, that are Cancers, are like I love that, like I love the way they are.
I feel like it would be a good match. I wish that I could meet one.
Like the weird thing is I've met a lot of Cancers like out and like been initially like really attracted to them, and I think it's something to do with like their energy and the way they just kind of stand there like they want to cry. One sitting alone at the bar, and I had the biggest crush on him because he was sitting alone at a bar and he was a Cancer, of course.
There's something like romantic and elusive about them that just is attractive to us, I guess.
Yeah, so
it's a good offset for us.
I would like to see it. I would like to try it.
I would love to try it if there's any Cancers out there. Are we allowed to talk about Scorpios?
Yeah, he's never gonna watch this.
See, that's the thing about Scorpios. You will actually ask that. Like, I dated a Scorpio for 2 years. Most possessive relationship I was ever in. He blocked like all my friends. I had no social life. It was the first time. Before this, I always thought like jealousy was cute. I was like, oh, it makes me feel so desired. But that was the first time when I was with a Scorpio where I was like, I'm not your person, like I'm my person. Like, relax, like you don't own me. And
you can't tell me what to do.
And this sucks because I actually think I I like their intensity. I have a Scorpio moon, so I'm attracted to them, but I don't know. Like, that's a lot.
Another thing is a Taurus, you cannot tell us what to do. And I want to say this is for all Tauruses, because it's literally like, you just don't tell us what to do, or you're not going to do it. It's like the bull. Like, you can't.
It's the most stubborn sign of the Zodiac.
And
probably besides a Leo.
Yeah.
And I still think we might even be a little more stubborn.
We're absolutely more. We're the number one most. Like, I am very stubborn, and I know that. But there's a difference too between being stubborn about like the things that you believe in, or just being stubborn to be stubborn. The thing about a Taurus-Scorpio relationship too is that Taurus,
it could go really well if that element wasn't in there.
Yeah,
it would be perfect, but because they can be so possessive and be so jealous, and that's so not something that we can deal with. It tends to. The thing is, a Scorpio doesn't trust, and a Taurus moves so slowly. It gives Scorpio a reason not to trust us, because they're like, why are they, like, you know, like Scorpios are so like intensity, like let's get right to it. They'd be fire if they were another sign. But with the Taurus is like, you have to go at my pace, and Scorpio does not like that, because they can be a little selfish, and I've noticed that in all Scorpios as well. And they're both fixed signs too, so it's
tough.
like it's
stubborn.
It's like butting heads, like.
But you just have to have open communication. Pisces, I've never dated a Pisces. I would love to try it. I feel like, actually, there's this person who's a Pisces, like Pisces everything basically, and we got along great. But I don't know what happened. It just wasn't meant to be. So the universe didn't align it. But he was great. I would love to date a Pisces.
It's so sad that these are the ones we're supposed to be dating, and we're like, we haven't.
I know. Because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, so like lots of mystery and illusion and not sure what's going on, and like uneven ground. So like Pisces, their egos, like,
it's kind of aloofness in a way.
Yeah.
And even from knowing you as a Pisces moon, I feel like it's just like in La La Land, a little bit like romanticized things. And
I'm not in touch with reality at all.
Yeah. I romanticize things too, but not as much. But I'm also more intense than her because of my Scorpio moon, so I like a little darkness in my relationships. Well, earth signs.
Yeah.
I never dated a Taurus.
I never dated a Taurus, and I don't think I would ever want to.
I know. I feel like
I hear it's not good.
Yeah, my best friend is a Taurus. My best friend is a Taurus, but my male best friend is a Taurus, and I just don't see it. I don't see us working.
Oh, I thought she was saying I gotta secure her in trouble. What did I do this time? So yeah, Taurus. Taurus men are very.
They're just too much.
They're like possessive. It's like a Scorpio, but different.
Yeah.
It's more of an earthy possession rather than a watery, like, let me control your every thought.
Yeah.
It's more of like, because that's too the Taurus Scorpio. Scorpio is like possessive of the emotion, and Taurus is possessive of the body, because Taurus is so like material, and Scorpio is so like not material, like thing. So I don't know. I don't think I could be with a Taurus. You wouldn't let me do anything. I feel like it really counts on the placements.
Yeah, everything always counts on the other placements, because
But
as
there
a
are
Scorpio
generalizations.
moon, I just feel like that's such an intense placement that I almost feel more connected to that than I do with my Taurus.
Oh, I for sure feel more connected to my Pisces moon.
Yeah, just because that's our emotions. When I was only looking at my sun sign, I always felt so disconnected. Like, I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like I read my other placements and I was like, oh yeah,
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
This
That makes
is why
sense.
I'm like that.
Like our Taurus is like so. It's kind of like our surface, because we are indulgent, both of us.
Yeah, it's our egos. It's what feeds our egos.
And we're both really stubborn and hard-headed, so I get those. But like when it comes to feelings and stuff, no.
Yeah, I don't relate with a Taurus either, because I cannot control myself with my emotions. I'm not grounded.
Not dating the signs we should be dating.
No. Capricorns, I've never dated one either. Oh, I have. Guy from like my hometown. It was like a really weird thing. He was like right on the cusp of like Cap Sag, but he's a Cap. I don't believe in cusps. He's a Cap for sure, but he was just kind of boring.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it would be a great connection if they had more. What do they need? More spunk, especially for me. Like, especially for like what I need. I need intensity and passion, and you just need romance.
Yeah,
and they don't put in effort.
No.
But it does feel nice. It feels comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like,
And that's what Taurus craves.
yeah,
Stability.
it feels
and
like,
comfort.
it feels secure, but a part of me still wants those grand gestures, and I just feel like
They don't do
Capricorns are
that.
not capable of doing that, unfortunately.
Well, Capricorn men.
Yeah.
This doesn't apply to women.
Yeah,
By the way.
that's a whole totally different thing, just so y'all know.
Just so you know.
What about Virgo?
I got a lot to say about a Virgo. Date a Virgo if you're a tourist. I'm just warning you. They will not open themselves up. Like, they don't admit feelings because they're so fucking protective of theirs that it makes them selfish, but it's like a defense mechanism. It's not like they don't know they're doing it. I think they know they're doing it. I've had a couple Virgo relationships.
She's had her experience.
Best
I've never had.
relationships I've ever had. But like kind of hardest in a way.
Yeah.
We butted heads a lot. My first boyfriend was a Virgo, my first boyfriend ever. But I think that just we butted heads because we were
Young.
young. Like otherwise we were like best friends. We had so much fun together. We always wanted to do the same things. Like I loved him so much.
I would love to try a Virgo, but every time I try, I get like this authority vibe from them where they're like trying to teach me, or like
They always think that you could be doing something better.
Yeah, and as Taurus, I don't think we respond well to that
Yeah.
either. Like we're not going to be told what to do. And we need to be heard. And I
Yeah.
feel like a Virgo's like, no, I'm right. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but you're not even listening.
Oh,
so
yeah. Also, I was in love with a Virgo for years. And he could just never admit his feelings, even though like you might as well, because it's obvious. Like even all of his friends would tell me. It's like, God, I love Virgos. You know, Virgos are the most appreciative of my eating habits. They love it.
It's
like
so
swear to God.
cute. They want to see you happy.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And they wanna
whatever
see
it
who
is
you
that
really
makes you
are.
happy,
Yeah.
they want that for you. And that's great.
Yeah, I feel like true love is like you find it when you find it, and you're gonna have shitty experiences. But it's also like it's cool to be self-aware of what made those shitty experiences. Like, cause I'm not perfect either.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a little crazy or a lot crazy.
Same.
But we all.
If you dated me, you know.
I'm
You know the
sorry.
deal. I would love to try a Virgo, so holla at me.
But get one without too many air placements, because then I think there would be a little too detached.
Move on to the signs we should not be dating. Should we start with air?
Yeah. Honestly, Geminis get a lot of shit. Like, a lot of shit.
I'm sorry, rightfully so.
I mean, yes and no. Last year, for some fucking reason, every single guy
You were on a Gemini kick.
I don't know what it was. It was like every time I'd be like into him or like whatever, then like I'd find out his sign, he's a Gemini. I'm like, what the fuck? Like it was like the year of the Gemini.
I dated
Anyway.
one Gemini last year just because she was on her Gemini kick, so I was like,
Oh wait, was that the guy you went to the place with in nature?
And he was like in love with me for like the first week, which we predicted because I saw how Geminis moved with her. So he was like really in love with me, like really doing the most, probably more than any guy has ever done to court me. And like I made out with him the first night and he was like already like, oh, we need to have a talk about how serious this is gonna be. And I was like, slow down. But that's kind of good though, because I feel like we take so long to get attached that by the second week when he was over me, I was like, I don't care anyways. I don't even care because I don't even feel an attachment to you at all.
I think that a Taurus-Gemini relationship could work. Like, I really do. I think it's not like my first choice, but it could definitely work.
Yeah.
And I think that because Taurus is like, I don't know, we're kind of like, we have this dark humor.
Yeah.
I don't know, or at least me. The Gemini, this one specific Gemini I dated last year, I dated him the longest.
Wait, which one?
I liked him a lot. And you know, looking back, it was a great time we had together because we really took our time. Like, we went on dates and then he would drop me off at home. You know, like
that's important.
went to the park all the time. Like we were always doing shit, and that's the one thing.
And
that
they'll take initiative because we're kind of lazy signs. Like
yeah, it was just a great time that we had. But the only problem is that the beginning he was. I talk about him like he's all great, but like there's bad things. In the beginning, he was like really interested, and he was like trying to see me. But on both of my days off, he was like I don't know, always trying to hang. And then all of a sudden,
it's like as intensely as he was interested was as
done.
Intensely as done.
It took like
literally
3 weeks.
Done. If you are doing something in the beginning, like even if it's a day later and you change this behavior, I'm gonna notice like you're not doing that same behavior that you.
It's off. There's something off.
Yeah, like I'm gonna notice that so quickly.
I would do it again if I was like casually dating. Like casually dating Geminis is probably the best option if you're not trying to be serious, because most of the time they're not either.
This is something we both always say about air signs in general, is that it seems their interests can be sometimes surface level, where our interests are like we dive deep into it, we have to know everything. And I think that sometimes can be like a trick with the air signs, because like I'm like, oh, you're so into this thing, and then you get closer and you're like, oh,
you know nothing about it actually.
You're not really like that. It was aesthetic. It was all aesthetic.
They know a little about a lot of things, and where water and earth more know a lot about a little bit of things. So the Gemini actually represents like the human. Like, you know how each zodiac is like a thing? The Gemini is the human. They represent the human in its most... If you just like put a human onto the street and let it grow up by itself, like that would be...
The most surface level of a human, basically.
Yeah, but not that, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, surface level is...
necessary.
Yeah, you have to have that. And honestly, like, sometimes I wish I could be a little bit more surface.
Me too.
I'm way too.
And I think
stuck
that's
in my
why,
mind.
as we go into these signs, and you see that I date the signs that I'm not supposed to. I think that's why, because they have these traits that I wish that I had. Aquarius, have you dated?
You know that guy at the club that was like mad rich, and he wanted to fly me, and then he was like weird. He was really, really, really into me the whole time. But he was into who he thought I was.
Yeah.
Like, he liked what I looked like, and he liked what I represented for him.
Yeah.
He didn't know me, and like, that's
and
a problem.
a red flag for you, or any Taurus, I think. Like, we're like, why do you like me? You don't even know me yet.
Exactly.
I agree. I've had a fling with an Aquarius too, and I feel like it was
So
more...
detached.
It was more so about, like, how we look together, and kind of like... clout that I might have. Don't you think that they're like kind of woke though sometimes?
They are, absolutely. Aquarius is the associated with the 9th house of like higher learning. Aquarius definitely reflects inward a lot more. I think they're more of the earthy of the air signs. Yeah, because they're so like in touch with weird shit. It's like Pisces and Pisces would be Aquarius without their victim complex. Very similar. Like, they're mystical. They're, like, elusive. They're, like, they like things, like, weird things. Yeah. The problem is that Pisces plays victim, and Pisces is a water sign. They're very empathetic, too.
Yeah. Pisces is more empathetic, and Cancer is more sensitive.
That's absolutely correct. Because I have a Cancer rising.
And then Scorpio is more intense.
Yes.
So that's
and
how
intuitive.
I would do that's how I would do the water signs.
Yeah. I definitely would agree with that.
But with air, okay, Libra. I dated
a Libra.
Libras, yeah. I think it's their Venus that we're able to...
that we're able to overcome some of the things.
Yeah, I feel like they loved me more than I loved them.
That's the thing, because he told me, he was like, when he first told me he loved me, he was like, I wanted to say it, and he's like, I realized I loved you because I feel the same way about you that I do about my mom and my sister. And I was like, that's really sweet. But I don't necessarily think he loved me.
Yeah,
because
it doesn't feel like romance. It feels like...
Libra's a sign of partnerships.
Yeah.
You know? They just want to have a...
they just want a partner.
Relationship.
They don't care about the connection, where we're all about connection.
Right, exactly.
Not so much just having a partner.
Anyway, Libra's good. It could go either way with with Tauruses. It really depends.
It's because of... I feel like because of the Venus and the romantic. Yeah. But, like, still, I just feel like there is a surface level with the air signs where I'm always feeling like something is missing.
Yeah. Attention.
Fire!
So I've dated Aries. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah. Is that the only fire sign you've dated?
I think
Fire is probably the
No.
one we shouldn't be dating the most because fire will burn the earth.
Way
which
too
naturally means that that's the ones
Emotional.
that I date the most. I've never dated an Aries though. What was your experience? I was there, so I know.
She was
Yeah.
there. Like, it was just annoying. I also think it had to do because he was a little immature.
You know what it was? It's because my Venus is in Aries, and just like we always say, like I can treat love like a conquest.
Yeah.
And I feel like even with your Aries, he was like that, and because you didn't give it back to him,
He wanted to do
never
it more.
stopped. He never stopped to this day.
Yep.
He will never stop.
To this day. Fire signs are very emotional, and
Fire signs
very,
are fucking fun, and that's
Yeah,
what the
they're
problem is for
awesome.
me because I'm indulgent as hell, and I will go for the fun even if it's bad for me.
even if you know and you see the flags. No, again, it's all about the placements, dude. But I just know Aries egos can be very macho.
Yeah.
Like I am it. Like, give me the attention, because Aries are the first in the zodiac. I mean, they are conquesting their lives. They want to conquest the attention. I mean, not so much as Leo, but they want to be recognized for things that they want to be, like the things that they deserve. They feel like they deserve to be recognized for. They will not stop until they're recognized. And like you said, once they're recognized, they cool down.
I mean, if you want to get rid of them, you might as well just act interested. I mean, I feel like that's what all fire signs like.
Honestly,
Act interested, and they'll be over
and they're
you.
like, bye.
Briefly, 2 Leos, you.
Briefly, one.
I
But
just
I
feel
don't-
like it's too much ego for me. You have to feed their ego a little too much.
Yeah.
I do think of all the fire signs, they're the fixed ones, and
I'd rather date a Leo than
yeah,
any of the
like
fire
I could end up with a Leo of any fire sign, but I can't feed someone's ego that much. Like,
they're just very insecure, I think, a little bit. Like,
they like to play it off like it's confidence, but it's really insecurity.
Leos are great sex.
Yes.
Fire signs.
Best sex.
Best sex you'll
Leo,
ever have.
and Leos are always hot, I feel like.
Yeah, I've
they
never seen
always
an ugly
look.
Leo.
Sagittarius, I've had a lot of.
I hope she hurt herself really bad.
Sagittarius moon over.
Literally.
Sagittarius, they're fun. Again, fire signs are always fun. Great time, great sex, everything.
They're
but-
also always hot.
Yeah, they're
What
hot
is
too.
that?
And they're always charming. They're always like very charismatic, can get along with everyone. But I think because of that, they don't tend to be monogamous people.
They're the
Need
type
to
that
be
expect
free.
you to be monogamous, but they're totally not going to be monogamous.
Yeah, and that is a problem for me.
That is a problem for me.
So many other placements matter, but just a Taurus and a Sag, I don't think that's
That's probably the least compatible zodiac pairing.
yeah.
Well, not for all, but for Taurus,
Yeah.
for sure.
Which is weird because I've ended up with them, but other placements played a factor.
She has
in
an Aries
that.
Venus.
Yeah.
And a Scorpio moon, she's
Yeah.
mad intense.
Yeah, I want that.
She needs that.
I want that fun and that intensity, even when it's not good for me.
Exactly. Because we love that. We love indulging and then regretting it afterwards.
Yeah.
I think we just went through all the signs.
Yes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Me and Des will hopefully. Did you like doing this?
I
Would you
did.
want to do more?
I would totally do more.
Do you mind if I exploit our friendship?
Exploit our
reviews?
friendship reviews.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah,
Why
even
not?
like maybe send astrology questions. We can answer them.
Yes, send us astrology questions like as
About anything.
Yeah.
I'm well versed.
She's well versed
in that.
I'm
astro
learning
world.
from her, and just now I'm just diving deep into it. So yeah, send us questions, or even if you don't want to send us astrology questions, send us any questions. I think we'd be down to talk.
Answer.
Hit the notification bell because you probably won't see my videos if you don't do that. Subscribe. Des will never have a YouTube, so if you like Des, this is where you're gonna find her. So yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
It was fun. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. I'm not that
Bye.
nervous anymore.